What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Okay, we're out here on the water. It is the dog days of summer, as they say. It is hot out here, and we're out playing with a brand new release, an iCast release crankbait, something I'm super excited about. This is the Bill Lewis DR24. If you guys follow the channel, you've heard me talk about it a little bit here in the past, but this is a new, really extremely deep diving crankbait that really enjoy fishing this bait. So I'm going to kind of walk you guys through the whole setup, rod, reel, line, all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to show you the action in the water. And then hopefully we'll be able to slide out a little bit and maybe catch a bass, but definitely show you some live scope footage of how deep this bait actually runs, show you some footage of it way down there deep so you can get some real-time data and actually see how deep this crankbait runs and gets down to those fish. You know, it's something that pretty excited about this bait. It's gonna be a staple for years to come in the deep crankbait game. So if you guys are ready, let's jump in and let's talk all about the DR24. Okay, this guy right here, this is the Bill Lewis DR24. So at first glance, it looks pretty unique. And that's because it is pretty unique. This is a average size deep diving crankbait. So as far as the body and bill size, I would say it's comparable to like a 8XD. You know, it's a little bit bigger than like a 6XD or a DT20 as far as the body style. But this size of this, very similar to an 8XD, but its action is actually quite a bit different and it dives actually a lot deeper, I have found. So let's take a look at the head or the top of this bait. So it's got a big rounded bill, a little bit of curvature on there to help really dig down. But this right here, this is called ledge technology. Basically, it extends that bill further back the bait. You can see this crankbait has two ridges that run down the side of it there, and that really helps this bait dig and just keep wobbling and keep digging and get down there to those fish. And the other cool thing is this bait really does really well with hitting the bottom and just continuing to grind and grind and grind and just continuing to dig into that bottom. And that's really key, you know, when you're trying to trigger fish that, you know, maybe they're sitting in 15 feet of water and you're throwing this DR24 that's going to dive to at least 24 feet, you are going to be in the bottom. You're going to be hitting the bottom, digging around, rooting around, and a lot of times that can trigger some bites. So that's something that's super important. You can see, I don't know if you can see the bill on there, but I've been digging him around. He's pretty beat up, chewed up. He's got a few teeth marks on him. This guy's already caught a few fish. Now these, the other cool thing about the DR24 is a few new color additions. This one right here is called Giz Riz. It's a beautiful gizzard shad imitating color, but you know, you got all your staples, but this is one of my favorite new colors right here. I've caught a lot of fish on this one and a lot of fish on the chartreuse blueback standard. You know, that's one of the OG deep diving crankbait colors right there. So obviously all Bill Lewis baits come standard with triple grip hooks. So that's super cool. You know, you can keep those on there. You can swap them out if you prefer a little bit bigger hooks. But I found just the standard hooks really keep the fish pegged well when they're eating this bait really well. So let's talk about the setup. You know, obviously this is a deep diving crankbait. It pulls really hard. You know, you're not going to want to throw this on your light crankbait rod. So having the right setup is crucial to the performance of this bait. So for me, I like throwing it on 12-pound fluorocarbon. So I got this rigged up on 12-pound Seagar and VizX fluorocarbon. I think you could get away with 15 as well if you wanted it to dive maybe a little less. You know, you could probably keep it around that 20-foot range with 15-pound line, but I really like the 12. It's super strong and it allows me to get that bait just a little bit deeper and handle those fish well. You know, you just want to be cautious and make sure that you check your line above the bait here often and retie, especially if you're bouncing it down in the rocks and around all the stuff. So I got that line spooled up on a 6.2 to 1 gear ratio reel. This is just a Shimano Corrado 151 I think this is the K now. I don't even know what letter they're on now. But the important part of all that is a 6.2 to 1 gear ratio reel. You don't want a super fast gear ratio reel. This bait pulls very hard. So if you have a high gear ratio reel, it's going to really wear out your arm trying to crank this and get it down and really burn it all the way back to the boat. But most important part of this whole setup is going to be the rod that you throw it on. So I'm throwing this on the Phoenix X series cranking rod. So this is the X14C. It's the crankbait series rod. This is a 7-foot 11-inch rod. So it's a super long rod, and I believe it is classified as a heavy. It is a heavy, moderate action, deep diving crankbait rod. So it's rated for up to a 3-ounce bait. So it's a very powerful, heavy rod, but that's super important with this deep diving crankbait, is having the correct crankbait rod, and this X14 is the deal when it comes to deep diving crankbaits, and it fits perfectly with this DR24. So enough talking about it. Let's pull out a little bit deeper and get on a little place. Maybe there's some bass around, but if nothing else, we're going to show you exactly how deep we can get this bait to run on a long cast with some live scope footage. Okay, so we made it up here on the front deck. First things first, anytime I'm fishing a big deep diving crankbait like this, I always like to have the wind at my back if at all possible, because it helps you make longer casts. And extremely long casts are key with any deep diving crankbait and getting it down to that proper depth and where those fish are be sitting. So boat positioning, super important when you're throwing a deep diving crankbait, but that's a whole nother topic we can dive into some other day in another video. But I'm just gonna drop it in the water here, show you guys a little video of what the action looks like of this crankbait, how it just dives deep. We'll overlay a little video here so you guys can see how this bait really works, really digs and dives. And then we're gonna bomb a few casts out there, see if we can get this bait down deep, show you some actual real-time live scope image of this bait down super deep. Nice long cast. Let's see how deep we can get that one. There it comes on the screen. Oh, there's a fish following it. Let's do that again. There it is coming into the screen. We're hitting the bottom there. 26, 27 feet. We are digging in the bottom. There, it popped up off the bottom right there. Ooh, a fish followed it up. See that? Man, that sucker gets down there deep. One more time, see if one locks it up. There's a few fish sitting up there. There, just come into the screen. Still diving. Still diving. Down on the bottom. Over 25 feet of water. Man, another fish followed it. They're just not ready to bite. Really impressive seeing how deep you can get this bait, and this is going to be a big player. This is going to be a staple in my deep diving crankbait arsenal. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the first on the water footage of the DR24. I think this is the first video of the DR24 on the water. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. Curious what you guys think. You gonna buy some? You already got some? What's your thoughts? Curious to hear all that, so make sure to drop it in the comments down below. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time.